Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! There have been so many incredible moments that Zombies has presented us the chance with to become the best of friends, to really understand each other better. And I think that's what I remember most about being a fan of Descendants of Zombies, is having the chance to sit behind this microphone each and every single day to talk about Descendants of Zombies over an incredible last year, where I not only got to talk about Descendants of Zombies, but I had the honor of meeting so many incredible fans. You know something, guys? I would love to take myself up in the opportunity to attend these Zombies and Descendants conventions just to meet each and every one of you, because I know many of you watch Jonathan Clarke on YouTube and you're excited to hear what my predictions and my theories are on things like Descendants 5, Wicked Wonderland, and Zombies 5 upcoming. I get it, because I understand each and every one of you. And the interesting thing is, I've seen so many people try to understand Descendants of Zombies, but they really can't. For instance, last night I saw somebody upload a video where they tried to rank their top 10 favorite moments from the original Zombies movie of the franchise, the movie that got it all started for every one of us. And honestly, guys, they drastically failed in being able to do it, because many people were giving that person a hard time because they thought that they didn't really like zombies. The reason why that they thought they didn't really like zombies is because in order to upload a video about Descendants of Zombies, you really got to approach every video with a pride and a passion that exists in the hearts of the fans who are watching your videos. And perhaps that person really didn't have a mutual understanding between herself and the audience that she was uploading these videos because of. Because Descendants of Zombies not only targets just one specific age demographic, it targets all different age demographics, and that's what creates a wonderful amount of diversity, which makes the world a very different place. Because when you really think about it, if everybody felt the same about Descendants of Zombies, the world would be a pretty boring place, would it not? So what I've tried to do with every video that I've ever uploaded is approach each video with a certain pride and a certain passion that lets you guys know how I feel about Descendants of Zombies, so we can talk about that iconic moment when Zed and Addison met each other for the first time, or the very first time that Red and Chloe became friends and they reached a mutual understanding. Because I believe that we all reach a point in our own lives where we want to get to that point ourselves, and we want to put our own lives into perspective and achieve more in our own individual lives, because we only live once. And as the old cliche saying goes, because we never know how much time we have to make the most of every opportunity we're presented with. And that's exactly what I've tried to do in every video that I've ever uploaded. I've loved to talk about Descendants of Zombies with each and every one of you and have no regrets. I haven't looked back since, and I've invested so much time and so much of my energy into Descendants of Zombies because I believe in these franchises that much that I would do that. Some YouTube creators out there, at least 95% of these YouTube creators, what am I saying, don't have that greater appreciation found within their hearts about Descendants of Zombies. I truly believe that if you looked inside of their hearts, they wouldn't feel the same way that you do about Descendants of Zombies. For far long enough now, I say this, you guys have wanted a show that's dedicated to uploading Descendants of Zombies videos, and you finally found that, courtesy of Jonathan Clarke Video Blogs. Because the reason why this YouTube channel happens is because of each and every one of you, every single time. For every single person who's ever hit my like button, for every single person who's ever subscribed here, thank you so much for seeing the good in me when nobody else really ever could, because of all the niches that I was trying to attract with my opinions on video games, TV shows. Like, I was a really big fan of vampire TV shows. Many of you probably remember some of them. The Vampire Diaries, True Blood, Mona the Vampire from Nickelodeon Jr. You guys all remember that one. I was always a big fan of those TV shows, and I was also a sucker for Are You Afraid of the Dark, the original TV series, which was so cool, hearing the tale of this or that. Are You Afraid of the Dark, which was one of the scariest kid shows of all time. So Zombies really fit the criteria of what I wanted to talk about, and it was the audience that I wanted to target because I shared in the same passions as each and every one of you. If you haven't already figured it out already, the reason why I talk about Descendants of Zombies is because I feel just as passionate about it as each and every one of you do. Because I know, just as well as every other YouTube creator knows, that when they upload these reaction videos, there's a 7-year-old girl somewhere out there in this really big galaxy who loves Descendants of Zombies so much. So you should think about how she feels about Descendants of Zombies, the characters that made her a fan of Descendants of Zombies, all the moments that she forever and always cherishes and remembers. Because a 7-year-old girl knows more about Descendants of Zombies than she's ever given credit for. And she deserves to be respected in every video that's ever uploaded. And my heart goes out to every single person who's ever taken a chance on these two franchises, who has come along with me on this incredible journey where I've been able to talk about such iconic moments like Zed and Addison meeting for the first time ever, that very last moment in Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires they shared on top of that hill that reminds me of a hill that's literally 10 minutes away from me, a 10-minute drive. It's called Signal Hill, and it kind of reminded me of that iconic scene in Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires where that last kiss happened, that final kiss of the franchise, where we had reached a point where their story had been told and completed. But you know something, guys? I, for one, refuse to believe that their story was anything but told and completed, because there's always an opportunity to present a new storyline, a new chapter to be written. And that's why I've always wanted to be a part of the Descendants of Zombies franchise, is to bring it to life. Because you guys have always deserved a dedicated director and a dedicated writer that's always dedicated to listening to each and every one of you. Because I've always forever advocated for you guys. I've been gassing you guys up with compliments and tremendous gratitude for having made this YouTube channel what it is today. And I really believe, I say this because if I really put it into perspective for each and every one of you, if Disney really listened to each and every one of you, Descendants of Zombies would have become something far greater by now than ever before. But I know in the fine print of every website that Disney does not accept ideas from fans. I heard it in the World Wrestling Federation years ago when I used to work for them. They never wanted to accept any idea from fans. Even with how smart fans were, they never wanted to accept any ideas. And every major franchise from Disney and Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, they never want to accept any ideas from anybody. So we're going to leave that out of the conversation. But I really believe that if Disney listened to each and every one of you about what direction you wanted to take the stories in for Descendants of Zombies, these two franchises, I think Descendants of Zombies would be far better off. Because you guys are so dedicated and have shown so much heart to whoever you believed in whatever you believed in, which is why I've encouraged more than anything your predictions that you've made about Zombies early on. And the thing is, Zombies 5 is not going to happen for at least another 5 years. But even though it's not going to happen for another 5 years, you guys refuse to give up. You guys refuse to let go. And that's what shows so much heart and dedication. You refuse to let go of Zed and Addison's story. You want to hear more about it. You want to hear more of a conversation about what kind of roles they could play in the future of Zombies, which obviously has something to do, everything to do with them sitting behind the camera, which is something I've always wanted to do. Come to think of it, what am I saying? I'd love to be an actor in the Zombies franchise. I've always wanted to be a vampire slayer. That's why I always wear black in every video that I ever upload, is because I want to really put it out there that I'd love to have something to do with the Zombies franchise, because you guys have deserved someone who is far more dedicated than what you've seen. Because when you talk about Descendants, the director's share and the writer's share has somewhat been a revolving door and a revolving issue, because there's always been Kenny Ortega, Jennifer Fang, Kimmy Gatewood for Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland. Who's going to be next? I think someone dedicated who listens to each and every one of you needs to sit in that chair, even if it isn't me. But having said that, I would love for Disney to consider to give me the opportunity to be the writer and producer, the executive head of the Descendants of Zombies franchise, because believe you me, guys, I would do right by each and every one of you. I would show your stars the respect and the justification they have forever and always deserved. Like you take Ruby Rose Turner, for instance, someone who I love to upload videos about. I can never seem to get enough of a conversation we have about Ruby Rose Turner, because I believe more than anything else in the world right now that her story is far from over. And one should believe the door should never be closed on the chance of ever seeing Ruby again. The last thing we heard from Ruby was that she was parting ways with the Descendants franchise because she believed her story had been told and completed. I refuse to believe that, because Ruby is incredibly beautiful, she is undeniably gorgeous, and she is overflowing with talent. So because she's overflowing with talent, give the girl an opportunity to either star in a live-action franchise like Descendants or star in one of Disney's most popular live-actions like, I don't know, Tangled. Because she's always expressed a desire to want to play Rapunzel, so give a girl a chance. Because if you give a girl a chance, she's going to make the most of that opportunity, because she thinks Rapunzel is so iconic, and be it that Ruby is so iconic herself, what better way to distribute the Tangled franchise that turned 15 yesterday than by giving her that opportunity? Because I think more fans than ever before would come out of support of Ruby Rose Turner and absolute love for Ruby, because as far as I'm concerned, Ruby became everybody's favorite character because of what she offered to that franchise. And even if you didn't want her to be Bridget, repackage her as Rapunzel herself, or repackage her as the daughter of Rapunzel, and see what she can do with it. Because Ruby has always had a special place in her heart for everything. From Dumbo to Tangled to Coop and Candy Ask the World, she never ceases to amaze me with how she's never forgotten about her Disney past. And I think because she's never forgotten about her Disney past, more of an opportunity needs to come her way. And more of a chance needs to be taken on her. Because the fan support that Ruby received for this character, Bridget, was unlike anything that I ever experienced in my life. And the love and support that you guys have shown for Kylie Cantrall in all the criticism that Kylie Cantrall has been faced of and become a victim of, which is completely unnecessary, which is something I don't agree with hands down. The conversation has to be over about Kylie Cantrall's political point of view. Because if anything, that's inspired me to want to run for President of the United States. And I know I can do it because I've got the love and support of each and every one of you. You may not be old enough to vote, but that would be kind of really cool to get in as President of the United States, because I promise you that I will take away all this pressure off the shoulders of Kylie Cantrall. I will send Kylie Cantrall the biggest bouquet of flowers that I can possibly find, courtesy of the President of the United States. I will invite her to perform with her friends on the night of my inauguration, and the reason why I say this is because I know what it's like to be each and every one of you. And I know what it's like to respect something and believe in something so much, which is why I'm here to tell you that if you love Descendants of Zombies as much as what you do and have for the last decade, there's nothing wrong with that. You got to keep on believing in that. Because if you have even the smallest hope that Zombies 5 is going to happen, that hope is going to turn into something miraculous, something that we're all going to marvel in. Because the 7-year-old girl knows far more about Descendants of Zombies than any critic that could ever try to convince me that this is going to happen for Zombies, this should have never happened for Zombies, this should have happened for Descendants in storyline. The reality of it is, a critic will tell you they're running out of supernatural forces to bring into the Zombies franchise because that's what they want you to believe. And the more you refuse to believe it, that's exactly what I've wanted for each and every one of you. I've wanted you to have a greater understanding and a greater appreciation for Descendants of Zombies. And somewhere along the way, I like to believe that I got through to everybody. Because everybody feels so passionate about Descendants of Zombies. More people have believed in Descendants of Zombies more than ever before. And the chances of seeing these new characters from, I don't know, Princess and the Frog and Encanto have seemed far more greater than ever before. I'd even love to see Baymax from Big Hero 6 in the Descendants franchise. Hero of Baymax. I say this because Big Hero 6 was one of my favorite movies of all time, and the whole idea of the fist pump. I will add fist pump into my personal care database. Like that. I really love all these inadequate concepts that Disney has always thrown at us. I can never seem to get enough of that. And just yesterday we celebrated the 30th anniversary of Toy Story. So why can't the son or daughter of Buzz Lightyear see their introduction into the franchise? Because I really do believe that just not off fairy tale characters alone, off some of the most iconic franchises of all time like Frozen, the son or daughter of Elsa and Anna, there's so much that can be done with this and so many unforgettable journeys that Red and Chloe have to be a part of. Because you can't go a day without talking about what if Chloe and Red ever encountered the Cave of Wonders to try to discover its untold power or its untold story. I mean, discover its undiscovered treasures, because deep within the Cave of Wonders there are so many treasures and so many tales left untold. And I think that so many of Disney's most celebrated and unforgettable franchises have left stories untold for reasons because of Descendants of Zombies. And I'm even just saying this because I have so much respect for people like Ruby and Kylie and Malia, who I can never seem to get enough of or say enough nice things about. I say this because there is never enough nice reviews posted about Kylie and Malia and Ruby, because the three of them have been friends together. They are inseparable. They've been friends for forever. They are inseparable. And they are inseparable because they understand each other. When they were going through some of the most beautiful breakups in entertainment history, they were there for each other every step of the way. They called each other every night. Kind of like how Freya Sky was feeling so pressured under working with Milo Manheim, and then Malachi Burton calls her at 3 a.m., and she has no makeup on. She's so stressed out. But he was able to get through to her, and he was able to calm her down. And they FaceTime Milo Manheim into the conversation, and they reached a mutual understanding. These bonds and these moments are moments that will never happen again. Disney will never see casts like this ever assembled again. So we've got to enjoy them, along with supporting them and believing in them more than we ever have before. And some way or somehow, I think I've reached a mutual understanding with every single person who's ever subscribed here, who's ever been a fan of Descendants of Zombies. And I think you believe in the chance of Zombies 5 happening more than ever before. And if you do, Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for seeing the good in every video that I've ever uploaded, because there are so many iconic moments that I could talk about. I could talk about the iconic elevator scene for over an hour. The very first moment Zed and Addison became a part of each other's lives. Like that iconic moment where she realized that zombies were being treated unfair in Seabrook, and it's always been this way. So she wanted to make a difference. And I think at that moment she realized that she loved him. Or that iconic moment during the cheerleading tryouts where Zed caught her when she was going to fall to her doom, and he looked into her eyes. I mean, it was so cute and so adorable. They had so much chemistry, it was truly undeniable. And I agree with each and every one of you who noticed that chemistry between Zed and Addison, because they had a lot of chemistry. And that was an extreme rarity. You noticed it because can you ever remember a franchise where you saw that much chemistry? Did you see that chemistry, for instance, between Miley Cyrus and Emily Osment? The two people that you thought you would have seen so much chemistry because of, you didn't. You saw more chemistry between Miley and her dad because they had grown up together. They had been a part of each other's lives for forever. Or even Miley and Jason Earls, because the chemistry just wasn't there. It never was there to begin with Miley Cyrus and Emily Osment, because the feeling was never mutual. And the directors and writers always had to separate them, had to pull them apart. Miley Cyrus was attending public school. Emily Osment was doing the same. So a lot was getting in the way of Hannah Montana ever amounting to far greater aspirations and goals than ever before. But we don't see that with Descendants of Zombies because they're so dedicated to everything they believe in. So because they're so dedicated to everything they believe in, the last thing that has to end up in every conversation is criticism about how far they've come. And that's why I take great pride in this set. I have all these stuffies set up. That's why I record so many videos every day before I head out on my daily excursion, because I always think about you guys and the videos you're having to be subjected to watching. Because I know how it goes. YouTube doesn't really have a great variety of videos. The variety of videos is not vast about Descendants of Zombies, because everybody has a different opinion about Descendants of Zombies. And when it comes to commentaries about Descendants of Zombies, that's the last thing you're watching. You're watching a video where somebody is claiming to rank their top 5 favorite moments about Descendants of Zombies because of some authentic thumbnail they photoshopped in all 30 seconds. That's the reality of life. The only reason I upload a thumbnail is because I have to attract somebody to hit my subscribe button. And I have to give you a reason. Along with just uploading an authentic thumbnail, I have to give you a reason to hit my subscribe button. I just can't tell you that I love Descendants of Zombies, because, you see, I don't need an authentic backdrop with Descendants of Zombies merchandise to back up my claim, because you can just tell from how I talk about the franchise and how passionate I feel about it that I'm a fan of it. And I've taken great pride and shown a lot of dedication in everything I've had to say about Descendants of Zombies because of each and every one of you. That's the reason why I'll come back just before sunset with a new video with my thoughts in on either Descendants of Zombies or possibly both. Because moments like the Worlds Collide Tour deserve to be celebrated. They deserve to be commemorated, because moments like these only happen once for every lifetime. So because moments like these only happen once for every lifetime, they deserve to be cherished, and they deserve to never be forgotten about and live throughout the annals of time. And how we ensure the legacies of your favorite stars will go down in history for being some of the greatest of all time is talk about them the way they were forever and always meant to be talked about. Do I think Kylie Cantrall deserves to be criticized? Most definitely not. So because I believe she doesn't deserve to be criticized, I'm going to be that one guy who comes out of flying colors, out of support and love for Kylie Cantrall every single time. I will take bullets for Kylie Cantrall because she's beautiful. She's a beautiful person. She's inspired so many wonderful people, so she deserves the best reviews possible. And my only hope is that Kylie Cantrall has seen at least one video that I've uploaded for every video that I've ever uploaded about her, because I do have a lot of love and support that I'd love to share with the world about Descendants of Zombies, because I don't think that you should ever be afraid to let the world know how you feel about Descendants of Zombies. But when you at least do it, you've got to do it with so much respect that it's truly unbelievable, the respect that comes from your heart about Descendants of Zombies. Never be afraid to be passionate about whatever it is you're passionate about, because passion can take you to unbelievable places and present you with the most unbelievable opportunities that you've ever witnessed in your entire life. This has been an opportunity for me that I've taken full advantage of, that I've seized, and I've loved to seize every single chance that I get to talk about Descendants of Zombies, because I've met so many wonderful fans who feel very passionate, obviously, about Descendants of Zombies. So the way I choose to look at it is this conversation never has to be over, because it doesn't have to be. And because I've loved sharing my opinion with Descendants of Zombies with you every single time that I have the chance to, it is an honor that I love to experience all over again. So if you guys have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, you're probably going to want to do that, because I have a lot to say where Descendants of Zombies goes, and I've never wanted to let you down. And I promise you I will never ever go away. So if you want to hear something nice about your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars, you can count on this YouTube channel to always come through with 3 or 4 videos every day, because I love talking about Descendants of Zombies with you and because of you, because you are what makes all of these moments mean so much to my heart. Every moment that I've shared with you about being a fan of Descendants of Zombies has meant so much to me, and I know it's meant so much to you, so the feeling is really mutual. We've reached a mutual understanding, because a bond between the host of a show and he or she's audience is what's really critical for a YouTube channel to thrive and really exist. So because our passion lies with Descendants of Zombies and has forever and always been that way, and will forever and always remain that way, we will never forget any of these incredible moments, these iconic moments. I think these moments deserve to be talked about. So let's talk about it, and let's keep the conversation ongoing, because this conversation never has to end, nor does this story. So if you're somebody who believes that this story is far from over, perhaps you should continue on believing that, because the only way to be in this life is to stay calm and zombie on, because life really is that much sweeter when all of us are. And I have Ruby Rose Turner to thank for my believement in that. And I have each and every one of you to thank for the profound success that this YouTube channel has seen. So having said that, from my heart to yours, thank you so much for having watched this video. It's been my honor to talk with you about everything related to Descendants of Zombies. So what are you waiting for? Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and come along with me on an unforgettable journey that I promise you, you will never, ever forget. Thank you so much for having watched this video.